So today we're going to be installing the Wicked Works oil breather kit. This is how it's going to come, and we're going to go through installation, tools you need, and all that. So what will happen if you don't install an oil breather mod? Well, when you do a wheelie, all of the oil is going to go to the back of the motor, and your breather's back here, so it's just going to drain out the breather into your air box. So when you're in a wheelie, then you'll have less oil in your motor, and your oil breather will be clogged with oil, so your motor won't be breathing properly. This oil breather mod here solves that issue, a cost-efficient solution. So the basic things you're going to need is a 10mm socket. You're going to need a 5mm Allen key, some pliers, and a Phillips and a small flathead. In your kit you should find this oil breather and a hose clamp, a cap, and a bolt. So the first thing you're going to do is take this sticker and you're going to put it right here on the bike. Heck yeah, so now we can continue with installing. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pop this panel here off. It's going to be 5mm up there, 5mm Allen right there, and then it's just going to pull off like that. So the next thing you're going to want to do is pull off this 10mm bolt holding your brake fluid reservoir. So I have a 10mm socket. So now you can just move this out of the way. Right there is fine. So this hose right here is the one we are tracking. If you look on the opposite side, this hose is your oil breather, and it shoots to the other side. Here's that same hose, and it goes into your air box right there. So you're gonna want to take this clamp right here and slide it off and slide the hose off. So you're gonna want your pliers, and it's kind of hard to see in here, but you're hunting this clip. And then you're gonna pull this hose off. So you can see I pulled the hose off. I was actually able to just squeeze this with my fingers. It's not that hard. And pull the hose off. Now you're gonna open up this bag. So you got 3 things in here. The first thing we're gonna do is this cap. So you're gonna find this nipple right here, and you're gonna take your cap and slide it over it. So it should look like that. So all this does is keep any dirt and debris from getting in that air box through that hole right there. So now we're gonna block off our oil breather. So now you're gonna want to grab the bolt and the hose clamp. So you're gonna take your bolt and drop it into the hose, and then slide your hose clamp over it and tighten it up right there. You can use a Phillips head screwdriver or a 6mm socket. Either works, but you're gonna want to get this tight. So you want this tight to where you can't pull that bolt out. So now you're gonna take your hose here and just push it up here out of the way. So you can see I just have it routed up the bike. So it's gonna go right there. So now we can go back in with our 10mm and tighten up our brake fluid reservoir. So now we can get to installing the oil breather. So what you're gonna need to do is pop off this panel right here. It's gonna be a 5mm Allen and then these push pins. So you're gonna take your small flathead and you're gonna push the center in, and then you're gonna pry it out like that. Pry it out. It's a 5mm Allen, but you're also gonna want to take this one here out. So push it in, pop it out. So here's a 5mm Allen on a socket. So once you get those 3 bolts out, this should pop out here. Now once you pop this out, you got a small Phillips head screw that you're also going to have to take out. Alright, so Phillips head screw is out and you have this pin out. You're going to try to pry this plastic piece out like this. Once it's like this, you can install the oil breather. Before you try to put the oil breather on, you need to take the oil fill cap off, and you're going to take this O-ring off. But you just want this O-ring. So we're going to use this. So you take your O-ring, slide it over, push it all the way down like that. Now you're going to take this oil breather and you're going to feed it down through here. I like to do it behind the spark plug wire, but you'll notice it won't want to fit. You'll have to pry this up and slide the filter in. So you're going to pull this back, slide the filter in, and now you can thread this in here. You might have to pull it down some, get some more slack, but this should just thread right in. So you can see I'm just twisting the hose. You don't want to put a wrench on this. It does not have to be that tight. You just want it hand tight, as if it was an oil cap. So right there, you can see it's tight. And now you can put all these pieces back in here. This is going to stay up here. It's held in by the ABS module, so it can't go anywhere. For reassembly, you're going to want to put this Phillips screw back in. These push pins, you're going to want to unpush them, so that way they're like this. You push them back in, and then you push the middle in to lock it. This piece here, you can see the clip, so you're going to want to push it down in there, and the rest should snap in. You got your Allen key bolt and your other 2 push pins. Same as before, just make sure your push pin looks like this before you put it in. So you can see you push it in there, and then you just push the middle in. You might have to use a screwdriver. So as long as that hose there isn't touching the motor at all, you can take this piece, and then you got your 2 bolts here and up here. So at this point, you're ready to ride again. Your oil will breathe through here. If you're trying to do an oil change, you just loosen this, same as if it was an oil cap. Now if you start to notice that there's like an oil leak back here, you might need to tighten up that hose clamp some more. As long as that's tight though, there should be no oil leak. That'll be it for the oil breather install. Hope it was easy for you guys. If you have any questions, please contact me and I can help you out. Other than that, see you guys next time.